It began with the Ice Age.
On him like
and this may go.
It does. Love it.
And set sail with the Admiral.
Here we go. It's Robinson. David Robinson and
But it wasn't until a young man from the island of St. Croix landed in the Spurs' lap that the future of the franchise changed.
The San Antonio Spurs have won their first NBA championship.
But true champions are never satisfied, always seeking to improve.
I don't know that much about him, but if he got in the first round, he must be a good player.
Always looking for the next piece of the puzzle.
For me, it's a new adventure. It's a dream making true. So I'm really excited.
Then executing the plan to perfection.
A lot of people talked about their 99 title having an asterisk next to it. The 2003 title's about to have an exclamation point next to it. The San Antonio Spurs are your world champion.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
The San Antonio Spurs are NBA champions once again. Their 4th title in 9 years.
4 trips, 4 trophies for you.
This is a KSAT 12 special report celebrating a dynasty.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to San Antonio's world-famous Riverwalk for another championship celebration.
I'm Steve Brown. Happy Father's Day, everyone. This is the 4th time, Greg, that we've done this. I'm saying 4th time in 8 years because 1999, you and I were standing right here celebrating the first championship, and that was 8 years ago.
And in fact, not only are we celebrating a championship, we're celebrating a dynasty. And over the next few hours, we'll follow the team as they make their way down the river here, all the way over the Alamo Dome. And here's actually a look at the parade route we'll be covering today. It all starts at 6 o'clock here at the Artisan River Theater through the River Center extension. It will end at the Navarro Street Bridge, and it includes Spurs players. All your favorites will be here. Tony, Tim, Manu, coaches. Pop will be here, and that's usually when Pop just lets loose. And other city officials will be on those river barges.
And after the parade, they're going to make their way down to the Alamo Dome. They've done that before, too. That's where we find Steve Spriester and Ursula Perry.
Hi there, guys. Yes, we have a bird's eye view of the goings-on in the Alamo Dome tonight. Steve Spriester here with me. This place is beginning to fill up. There are still people coming in. They opened the doors around 3:45 because of the heat, and people did not wait even a second before finding their seat for the front row stage seats, I should say, to watch the festivities tonight.
Yeah, and we are happy to report that the Spurs have left the building. Yes. They have the number of trolleys that they'll take to take them from here to the river and then back. A lot of the Spurs with their families pulling up in their vehicles right here on the floor of the Alamo Dome, and it was almost like a red carpet.
Yes.
With the flashbulbs going as the Spurs got out of their vehicles, waved to the crowd.
And the crowd went wild, of course.
Now, we didn't see the NBA trophy, but we did see Tony Parker. I think one of his brothers was carrying the MVP trophy around here.
They kind of tricked us a little bit. Then we thought the actual trophy's a little bit bigger than that one.
And I think we should probably right now be very thankful that we can hear each other, because I think a little bit later here, we are not going to be able to hear each other inside the Alamo Dome because it is going to be so loud when they pump the music in here, if they do rap or whatever they're going to do.
We've already had a sample of it, and believe me, this is just a small sample. What's to come is going to be very loud, and it will be loud down on the floor. That's where Leslie Mouton and Larry Ramirez are standing by. They're with the crowd on the floor.
It is electrifying on the floor here in the Alamo Dome. Larry, was it amazing when they opened the doors about 4 o'clock? People just started flooding in, and thousands of people are surrounding us. It's empty behind us.
That's right.
It's not empty all the other way around us, though. Take a look at all the people. And we've met some pretty interesting fans already.
We have met some pretty interesting fans. I mean, young and very young. Mendez, can you take a shot over here? There's a little boy right there. I mean, we've got Spurs fans here of all ages. They are ready to celebrate the 8th sweep in NBA Finals history. So not only are Spurs fans just excited that the Spurs won their 4th NBA championship, but they're just the 8th team to sweep a team out of the finals. So fans are even more excited for that itself.
Now, all of you people who are watching the actual coverage that we had the night of the game, you probably remember there was this little baby who was dressed like a champion trophy.
Yep.
Well, she's going to be here today, so we're going to meet the parents and meet the baby. And we have a lot more to show you from down here from the fan side. And also, Eva's parents, Eva Longoria's parents, all in that little crowd over there, already here. here. So a lot of fun coming our way, and we're looking forward to it, so stay with us. But the parade, of course, is the next big thing, and Mike and Mark are at the Augusta Street Bridge on the parade route. Mike?
Thank you very much, Leslie, and we are live down here on the Riverwalk right now between the Convent and Augusta Street Bridges, just in the shadow of the Crown Plaza Hotel, right around the corner from Navarro and St. Mary's right now. And I'm just excited to do this again. Mike and I have had fun doing this 2 or 3 times now, and it's such a great Father's Day to be down along the river. Mike is actually enjoying the river down here.
I decided to just kind of invite myself right down here where people have just kind of spread out their blankets. Sylvia and Linda and Lauren right here. And folks, as far as the eye can see, all the way under the Augusta Street Bridge, all the way down past the Covenant Street Bridge, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of these Spurs fans down here. And I figure this is going to be about as close as I can get to Eva Longoria. This close, but they may kick me out here. But and it's great to be down here on the river. A few clouds. It is not too bad. We could use a bit of a breeze, but it's not bad down here. We're just waiting for those barges to come by with the 4-time NBA champions.
Perfect Spurs parade weather right now. When we got out of here around 2:30 or so, people are already starting to line up. All right, let's patch it on to the next crew up the route.
Dr. Edward Rashid, your health and wellness LASIK specialist on KSAT.com.
I think I'm gonna get a chicken sandwich. What do you want?
Nothing. I'll just have a bite of yours.
I'd like to have 2 barbecue ranch Whata chicken sandwiches, please.
Introducing the Barbecue Ranch Whata Chicken with bacon, cheese, and a creamy barbecue ranch sauce.
Huh. They gave us an extra sandwich.
That's weird.
What a burger! Just like you like it.
This is a KSAT 12 special report, celebrating a dynasty.
10 seconds on the shot clock. James inside, blocked by Duncan. Good for the rim. Spurs come in having won 6 of their last 7 playoff games, and Parker so easily gets to the rim again. So Parker again, inside, puts it in. Oh, beautiful shot from Tony Parker. Bergeron hooked away by Duncan. Ginobili to the rim, right-handed.
Well, we are on the the Navarro Street Bridge here at the Crockett Street intersection. And take a look at all the people that have gathered here right now. You can see they've been lining up since as soon as they could at 4 p.m. You can see they're lining up here along the river. They found some great seats. Also, take a look over here on the stairs just outside Dick's here on the Riverwalk. They go all the way up the stairs, and then of course here on the Navarro Street Bridge. And then over here you can take a look at all of the fans that have lined up at the La Mansión del Rio Hotel. They've got some bird eye view seats there on the balconies. Over here we're going to talk to one gentleman. Sir, you're on live with KSAT 12 News. Talk to me about what you're looking forward to in this parade.
Oh, just seeing the team now. That's it. We've waited. We've been here waiting. We're ready to see them.
You were at the AT&T Center.
And watched all the games live. Had NBA live at home, and drove down here from Killeen, Texas, so we can come down and see the team live.
It's definitely been an exciting week. How does this win compare to the others that we've had?
The Spurs went through a lot of problems this time. We have been bad-mouthed, we've been abused, we've been slapped, knocked down, the whole 9 yards, and everybody's just been talking trash about the Spurs. And us winning this one is just going to show. And by winning it in a sweep, we just showed them that, hey, no matter what you tell us, we're going to pick it up and we're going to drag on and do the right thing.
Sure is proof. Enjoy the parade. So we're going to be here throughout the afternoon and bring you the shots of the parade as it actually makes, of the barges as they make their way here at the Navarro Street Bridge. Let's check out another location here on the Riverwalk with Tim Gerber and Jennifer Dodd. Guys, what does it look like there?
Well, hi, Doug. It's really nice out here. We're between Houston Street and Soledad, and we have a really good view of the parade. But I don't know, Tim, I think these people have a much better view.
I think they have a better view, and I think they have a lot cooler spot. It is pretty hot up here. Check everybody out down there. We've got some KSAT 12 fans down here among all of the Spurs fans out here on the Riverwalk. They're getting excited. Not too many people down here. I thought there'd be a couple people deep, but not the case so far.
They're not, but you can see along the Riverwalk, they're all lining up along the side, and I suspect in a little while there are going to be about 4 people deep along the sidewalk, and we're getting a little lonely up here, so I'm hoping some people will come join us up here. We have a couple of people, and the smart ones, if you're smart, bring an umbrella, because
Absolutely.
The sun is very bright out here.
Definitely want to bring some water as well. It is a warm one, but they're going to have a lot of fun. as this parade makes its way down the Riverwalk. Everybody having a great time, ready to celebrate the 4th championship, and we'll bring you all of the excitement from our location. But for now, let's go to a break, and we'll continue our parade coverage right after that.
Sunniest Medical Center, your health and wellness dialysis specialist on KSAT.com.
Back for a limited time, our crispy chicken flautas are hand-rolled and cooked to perfection. So get our flauta combo or dinner, or get a 3, 6, or 12-pack to go. And be sure to try our new Cabana cool smoothies and slushies. Only at Taco Cabana.
This is a KSAT 12 special report. Celebrating a dynasty.
He's been fired up to play in the championship round. Parker blocked behind by Gooden. A second shot, count it, and a foul. Picks up Parker in transition. Duncan left wide open, didn't realize it, banks it in, and a foul. Larry Hughes with a help defense, skips into James. Inside for the slam. Shot clock down to 7. Parker blows past Hughes, up and under. Oh, what a play from Tony Parker.
Welcome back to the Artisan River Theater. Greg Simmons along with my buddy Steve Brown here, and you knew that had to be a sign of things to come when they blew it out by 9 and 11 points in games 1 and games 2.
The Spurs were surgeons this year. They were the best I've ever seen them. Absolutely astounding. Greg, how come all the fans shining on you?
Because I need to be cooler. You can stand over here.
We're at the Artisan River Theater here, and the beauty of our shot is that this is the beginning of the parade. Right here, the beginning. So we're going to see all the floats come out as they first arrive, and that starts at 6 o'clock.
And you know, one of the nice things about it here at KSAT 12 and the folks that work for us here and work with us is the fact that they really have it down to a game plan, because not only do you get what happens right here at Artisan River Theater, you know, what if something goes on downstream? Right. Well, you know what? We have reporters all the way down, all the way till they get down to Municipal Auditorium, so you won't miss a thing, and we'll take you right up to the time for the Alamo Dome, and all the folks are piling there as well. But at the same time, oh, okay, he is ready. All right, Steve Roldan is there. Let's take a look and see what he's got to show us.
That's fine. Well, we are here at the Alamo Dome. As you can see, people are still trickling in here by the dozens. They've been doing so over the last couple hours. In fact, the crowd was supposed to have gotten into the doors here about 5 o'clock, but they let the crowd in about 3:45 because some people are actually passing out here in the heat. But I can tell these fans, a little heat is not stopping these fans who are getting the red carpet treatment here and expecting quite a bit of a show here over the next couple of hours. In fact, the show here will kick off at about 9 o'clock a little later this evening, so fans here decked out for one big night with Spurs fans out here. If you look right over here, plenty of fans all decked out with their Spurs memorabilia, of course. We cannot get enough of hearing "Go Spurs Go." We're going to hear all night long. Definitely something we look forward to hearing here. And of course, we'll have a lot more coming up a little later. Now we'll send it back to break. We'll be right back.
Audicles Hearing Services, your health and wellness expert on KSAT.com.
This is a KSAT 12 special report. Celebrating a dynasty.
But he has not scored tonight. Borey lines that one up and nails the 3, and the game is tied. Parker on the drive, gets inside, the floater, pretty shot at the buzzer. You can feel the crowd wanting him to drive to the basket. James takes it to the rim, misses again, and Borey the rebound.
Welcome back to KSAT 12's continuing coverage of a championship celebration, the 4th time we've done it. Ursula Perry and I live here inside the Alamo Dome, where we're expecting a full crowd. Actually, the lower level is about half full right now. Still plenty of room. It's cool if you want a place to watch the parade. We're planning on coming down here for the celebration anyway. Come on down to the Alamo Dome. They've got the red carpet out front, as Steve Roldan showed us in the last segment.
Very nice in here. Air conditioning, big plus. Also, you're going to be able to watch the parade from in here, and that's going to be up on the Jumbotron, as well as they're going to have the last half of the winning game against the Cavs. So this is a great place to watch. Down on the Riverwalk, a great place to watch the parade, and you'll be able to see, perhaps for the first time, the new Spurs barge that everybody's been talking about. Rio Cruises putting together this barge, especially as soon as they knew that this thing could happen, they put together this barge, and it's going to be the barge that Greg Popovich is going to be on.
Yeah, and for the first time, the Rio Cruise is a sponsor of the parade, which means that they get to probably take a little more involvement in the parade than they normally do. And it's amazing. I don't know if you've seen the Spurs barge yet. They debuted it, you know, during the finals. Here's some facts. The total of 162 man-hours, 25 Spurs decals, 2 Spurs flags, 6 sheets of plexiglass, 9 boxes of wood flooring, 2 gallons of silver paint, 1 gallon of black paint, half a gallon of orange paint, a half gallon of white paint, 226 screws, and 80 to 90 rivets. This was no, you know, come assembled
That's
barge.
right. That 162 total man-hours includes, of course, 4 days of hard work by a number of people. And again, that's going to be barge number 27, I believe. It's going to carry Greg Popovich. It is actually named for, did you know, his wife, Erin Popovich, for all the work that she does for our community. Now, in between the parade and the party here, there's going to be a little get-together at Municipal Auditorium, and that's where we can find our Gina Galaviz.
Hi, Ursula. Yes, we're out here on the Lexington Street Bridge. In fact, the Spurs will probably be getting off the barges right across the river over there, then walking up the sidewalk into the Municipal Auditorium. There's not a lot of fans here right now. In fact, if you look at the bridge over there, you can kind of see some people just waiting. They've got a long wait because the parade doesn't start till 6, and they probably won't get to this area till about 7 o'clock. So this is what it's like out here, and we're just waiting. In fact, it's a pretty good view from here.
All right, well, we're back here on the Alamo Dome floor again. Thousands and thousands of fans coming inside the arena. You can look at all the fans sitting in right now. Make some noise, everybody. Come on. They are waiting in anticipation for the Spurs to arrive here, of course, to celebrate their 4th time being an NBA champion. And Leslie, I understand you've got a very special guest right here.
We told you that we found some really interesting fans. Well, here's one of them. What's your name?
Mary Lou Rodriguez.
You are a big Spurs fan.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me a little about your skirt.
My skirt.
Check out the skirt.
Oh, okay. I made my skirt last night. Would you believe that?
4 trophies on.
I stay up late.
Let me show them this. She's such a big fan and a season ticket holder. Her picture is actually on one of the tickets from this season. Isn't that amazing? And she's got her trophy, and she's got her Spurs bear, and she's got her bling, and check out the earrings. How hysterical these are. Now that is true Spurs spirit. Thank you so much. And here's your ticket back. That's very special.
Go Spurs, go!
Go Spurs, go. So as you can see, a lot of excited people. They've been here since, some of them lining up at 3 o'clock this afternoon outside the dome.
One lady told me she was here 8 o'clock in the morning. Look, we've got some people right here wanting to cheer. Get a shot of them. Look at that trophy they have made up. Plenty of Spurs spirit indeed down here. All right, let's take it back out to Steve Brown. Steve?
Take it away, Mr. Steve.
Hey, we're down here at the Arnson River Theater. We're just minutes away from the beginning of the parade. What I have around my neck here is
I was going to say, what do you have around your neck?
It's my personal cooling device. It's a towel wrapped around
PCD?
ice cubes.
PCD.
And it's dripping down my shirt, and it feels good. I don't know if Billy can get a shot here down in the crowd. You're going to see a lot of folks fanning themselves right now because it's a little bit warm in the sunshine, but I've seen it worse here before, Greg.
Oh, it's been much worse, has it? The humidity is pretty high today, but the temperature is not as high, right?
Not as bad, and it looks like we're going to have good weather for the next hour or so. They're starting the warm-up performance right across the way here and getting the crowd fired up, and this is going to be another fantastic celebration down here.
And you know what? That's Andrew Monaco down there. He'll be kind of the play-by-play guy, if you will. He normally calls the games for the San Antonio Silver Stars. He's here to kind of help guide us through and interview a lot of the players as they get off the barges and talk to them about what this championship means to them. But I have to show you, this is my favorite headline of the whole thing.
Okay.
You worked in Cleveland a little bit, so you got to understand their agony. But can you see that? Put to sweep. That was my favorite the whole decade. Now, when you take a look at what has happened in Cleveland and how big a moment this is, it's clear right now the Western Conference is so much stronger than the Eastern Conference.
Well, the Spurs look like surgeons against the Cavs, unfortunately for the Cavs, but they'll have their time in the sun. But right now, it's our time in the sun, and we're going to be back just ahead of the parade when we come back.
Sunrise Home Health, your health and wellness expert on KSAT.com.
Welcome back to KSAT 12's continuing coverage of this championship celebration. Steve Spriester along with Ursula Perry. We are just minutes away from the parade to start, the floating parade.
That's going to start at 6 o'clock. The route it's going to take is, if we could show the map here, it's going to start at the Artisan River Theater, run all the way through to the River Center. They're going to get off at Crockett Street, and that is where we're going to find Steve Brown and Greg Simmons at the start of the parade.
You got that right, Ursula. We are ready to go here. Are you excited, Mr. Steve Brown?
Yeah, I'm ready, Greg.
All right. Will you dance a little bit as well?
Of course.
All right. We have it all for you coming up next live on KSAT.
Live, local, late breaking. You're watching KSAT 12. This is a KSAT 12 special report celebrating a dynasty.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to the Artisan River Theater in the heart of downtown San Antonio for yet another championship celebration. I'm Greg Simmons, joined by my buddy Steve Brown.
We've been here before!
Yes, we have.
It's a great feeling.
We have to do 4, don't we? 3 and 4. There we go. Are you excited as I am about this?
Yeah, and they're just about ready to begin the parade. You are sitting here right on the edge of the river with us, and this is where the parade begins. You'll get to see all the floats up close and personal at the beginning. We're just about 1 minute away from the first float coming down the river.
And we got a lot of surprises here because you're going to get to see everybody. You're going to get to see Tim, Tony, Manu. You'll get to see all the guys who want to come back. You'll get to see Eva, the royal couple of San Antonio. But at the same time, we also have a little surprise for you as well. So, and to make it even better, this is just the start. We're going to take you for 4 straight hours of all the way up to our newscast at 10 o'clock. Because we start here, we'll take you all the way down the river to where they get off the barges at Municipal Auditorium. Then we'll follow the Spurs as they make their way all the way into the Alamo Dome. And then we have the Alamo Dome celebration starting at 9. So this is the start of a very long night, but a very fun night indeed.
Look at the crowd behind us here. The river is just lined with people once again. This does not get old in the River City. City of San Antonio has come out in the heat to enjoy the parade today. Everybody fanning themselves right now. I have my personal cooling device. So far, I haven't melted.
Hey, here's the nice thing about having Steve Brown along. Guaranteed it's not going to rain. They would not dare rain on the weatherman out here. And you know what? For right now, it looks like it's going to go pretty well without any problem.
All right, here comes the first barge, Greg. Take it away.
And this is Placido Domingo. This is one of the big surprises we were talking about. He's performing in concert at the Alamo Dome on Tuesday, June the 19th. He's, of course, a legendary tenor superstar. Domingo honors his great moment here in San Antonio because, by the way, he's going to pull up to the barge here, and he is going to sing the national anthem for us, and that is quite the deal here. He's joined by the mariachis of Los Galleros, and they take the rest of the parade route. Also on the barge is Placido's son and manager. Let's listen in.
Please rise. Gentlemen, please take your hats off. Hands over your heart. Very pleased. Let's present the colors. It is with great honor that our national anthem will be provided by the San Antonio Opera featuring Placido Domingo.
I don't think he had a microphone down here on the theater. He doesn't need a microphone, does he?
That was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, his voice was projecting up here through all the crowd. It was like he was going right through you.
Exactly.
That was something. Placido Domingo, one of the great all-time tenors of our time, and how fortunate are we to have the opportunity to hear him sing our national anthem, and he did it with such gusto. That's what made it so nice.
That's a flair there with the musical accompaniment in the background there. We're waiting for barge number 2, and barge number 3 is Eva.
So you're kind of almost pushing barge 2 aside, is that it?
All right.
I take a look at barge number 2.
Spurs
Brown,
Coyote.
you got the call.
It's the Spurs Coyote, and he's there with the Spurs owner Peter Holt and his father B.D. Holt and his wife Kay, Mayor Phil Hardberger and his daughter Amy. Also, we have Bear County Judge Nelson Wolf and his wife Tracy, and they have their 4 granddaughters on board. And the Community Arena Board and Vice Chair Guerra and his wife.
We gotta get Peter over here.
Are we going to get some audio from these folks? All right.
You know what's nice about this, Steve, is that Peter has been the owner through all 4 of these championships. And he had the opportunity to almost dismantle this team. And he said he watched what happened in Chicago after Michael Jordan left. They dismantled. He says, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it happen the way it's supposed to happen. And they kept the team together, and it worked out well. Let's listen in.
There's always time for you.
Hey, everybody, go Spurs, go! Yes, thank you all for coming out today. Thank you for supporting us. 4 championships. Yeah! Now, what do we want after 4? 5. 5, we want to repeat. Say hello to the mayor, Mayor Hardberger, and our county judge, and Charlie Gonzalez, Judge Nelson Wolf. Thank you all for coming out. Yay!
Peter, never gets old, does it?
Never gets old.
Thanks, Peter. Peter Holtz, the owner of the San Antonio Spurs.
The majority owner, by the way, doing a great job. You saw Congressman Gonzalez also on the float as well. County Judge Nelson Wolf, who was instrumental, one part of the puzzle trying to get the AT&T Center constructed. And there you see a shot from Sky 12. Isn't that a beautiful sight? They say over about 200,000 fans are packing in the Riverwalk today. You can see out the Hilton Palacio del Rio, a lot of folks just hanging out the balcony to watch. And here's what you've been waiting for, Steve Brown.
Yes.
This is the lady that shook your lucky rattle and did a great job for you, didn't she?
I asked Eva if she would shake the rattle because it was tradition, and she agreed to it. I don't think she knew exactly what she was doing or why she was doing it, but it worked very well. The magic rattle continues its tradition.
Every time you've used it, they have won the championship. It's so far so good. And you hear the crowd recognizing the fact that not only on this float is Tony and Eva, but so is the NBA Finals MVP trophy. And let's listen in. The photograph right there. She's looking for you, Steve Brown, up here. Yeah. I can tell right there. And obviously Tony, his brother TJ, Pierre, there's Tony waving to the crowd. He's had a heck of a year. In fact, this has been his best year ever. And you know what? When I was talking to him about it before Game 4, I said, this is your best ever? He goes, oh, it's going to be even better. All right, let's listen in to hear from Tony now.
Tony? Brent, if I start with you, this is quite a Father's Day for you. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Brent, congratulations. Terrific job. A season that started in France, ends in Cleveland. Couldn't end any sweeter, could it?
First of all, happy Father's Day for all you fathers who are out here today. Can't think of a better way to spend Father's Day than with 150,000 of our closest friends. So thank you for coming down. I have to tell you, this is the first time I've been on a boat with this many French people since France. And even then, they wanted to jump off. But it's really an honor to be doing this once again with this group of guys. And I will introduce, obviously, a guy who really stepped up for us, really stepped up and did the job. I'm very happy for him on so many levels. About to get married, which is the biggest mistake I think he's ever made in his young life. Is his fiancée here? I don't think she's here. Oh, she is here. So let's hear it for the MVP of the 2007 NBA Finals, Tony Parker. What's up, San Antonio?
Obviously, I'm so happy. I feel very blessed, and it's a privilege to play with a great team. And it's our 3rd championship in 5 years for me, 4 for the city of San Antonio, and hopefully we'll do it again next year. Thank you.
Tony, have you stopped smiling yet?
Oh, no. I'm going to smile for a long time.
I don't blame you.
For the next 2 months, I'm going to enjoy that.
That trophy fits really well in your hand, you know that.
It slept with me the last 2 nights, you know, I kept it. I put Eva on the couch, you know, I slept with that.
He might be the only man who can get away with that. You know that. You know that. Congratulations, and we wish you early congratulations on your wedding as well, you and Eva.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Is Eva Longoria. She's just 3 weeks away from her wedding, which is going to be on July 7th in Paris, France. And she said that she's the reason why they swept, because, in fact, she said she had to plan more of the wedding, so you better get this over and don't want to go to 5.
It seems to have worked.
Yep,
she's a sweetheart. She's a porcelain doll in person. She's very petite. That's why I always said I wanted to curl Eva.
Well, you know, also on the barge there was Brent Berry, who is just one great cut-up. His wife, Erin, they do so much great work here in the San Antonio area with foster children. And at the same time, I believe it was their 2 sons on their Quinn and Kay were also on the float as well. So not only did you get to see Tony and Eva, Brent Berry and his wife, Erin, and just a great moment for the city of San Antonio for Tony, because, again, great job for Tony, his best year ever. All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, a lot more of San Antonio's Sunday celebration of a dynasty.
Hi, I'm Tech Sergeant Cervantes, assigned to the 506 Security Forces here in Kirkuk Regional Air Base, Iraq. I'd like to say hi to my family in San Antonio, Texas, my co-workers at the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, and Spurs, #1, go Spurs, go. Mom, I love you. Be home soon.
This is a KSAT 12 special report, celebrating a dynasty.
And welcome back to the San Antonio Riverwalk at the Arneson River Theater. Greg Simmons along with Steve Brown. Are you having fun so far?
So far, I like these dynasty things.
And you know
that means you're pretty good.
You know what? That's been the big debate. Are the Spurs a true dynasty? And I think for the city of San Antonio, absolutely. Now, if you're going to compare them against, the Bruins, of course, or maybe even the Celtics and Bill Russell, they might. But they are one of the members of the Fantastic Four. That's the only team, 4 of them in the NBA, who have won 4 or more titles. Starts, of course, with the Celtics, then the Lakers, then the Chicago Bulls with 6, and now the San Antonio Spurs with 4. But I think the Spurs have a very good chance, perhaps their best chance, at going back-to-back for the first time for next season.
Well, you're talking to 25-year-old Tony Parker, who was absolutely magnificent this year, 31-year-old Tim Duncan, men who, his age, Greg, you know all this stuff.
31, but you know what makes it so amazing about all this is they have all 3 of their core players. It's Tim, Tony, and Manu tied up under contracts for the next 3 years. Now, that's if Tim decides not to opt out, and I cannot imagine for one second that Duncan would decide to opt out after this next season. But what they're going to be doing, they're going to be talking to Tim about a contract extension that would keep him here to 2010, 2011. I would be shocked and stunned if he didn't agree to that contract extension and stick around.
Well, he's surrounded by some great guys. He knows the system. Why would he leave? That would make no sense at all.
And he has one of the other rare things that a lot of people don't realize. He's only played for 1 coach in the NBA. And that is remarkable because most players play for multiple coaches. Just look at the Houston Rockets. They've been through just 3 or 4 with Tracy McGrady and, of course, Yao Ming. So this is a dynasty that has been built by one organization, one core team in place. And as a result, they always seem to find the pieces necessary. And take a look at this. The city loves this team because you know what, Steve Brown, they know what it takes to win a championship here. And here comes our next barge.
Okay. This is barge number 4, and we have the head athletic trainer, Will Sevening, his wife, Terry, his kids, Ben, Allison, Emma, Liam, and parents, Paul and Patty, the assistant athletic trainer, Chad Bergman, team doctor, David Smith, his wife, Teresa, and kids. And those kids are Casey and Benjamin. The team doctor, Paul Sines, his wife, Becky, and sons, Jeffrey, Stephen, and Nicholas. Dr. Curtis, Dr. Stefan, Dr. Allen, calling all of you. Equipment manager, Nixon Dorvion, and his girlfriend, Mary. Strength and conditioning coach, Mike Burgon, and his wife, Drew. Assistant strength and training conditioning coach, Chris White, his wife, Jennifer, and kids, Jaron, Kira, Isaac, and the special assistant, Eric Rashid, and his wife.
In other words, these are the people that keep the team together, and Dr. Sines and Dr. Smith do a great job. In fact, their offices are right next door to the Spurs practice facility, so they have a problem, they just run over and get them. Now, here's one of my favorite organizations of all time. These are the Baseline Bums. These are the folks that were buying tickets, that were going to games in the Hemisphere Arena when nobody at first even knew. And it's still the operation, folks, here? All right. I see Will 70, the trainer Will 70. Again, these are the folks, there's Mike Brumgard. He's their strength and conditioning coach. If you see Mike in person, you can tell because he's got the big arms. Oh, they're already flashing their other championship rings. Remember, they haven't gotten. That's Dr. David Schmidt right there. He's the guy that checks out the knees, checks out the hips, the ankles, takes care of all the players. And there's Dr. Paul Sines as well. Again, they have their offices right next door to the practice facility, so it makes it nice. If there is a problem, they just run next door and say, hey, how can we help you? How can we fix you up?
Well, it's one of the things when you go through a long season in the NBA, 82 games a year, and you're going to suffer injuries along the way, and you've got to keep the players patched up to make it to the playoffs. And one of the lucky things about us this year is that Tim was in excellent shape. I've never seen Tim play any better, and a lot of that was attributed to the fact that he got over his plantar fasciitis that he had last year, and this year he was feeling much better, and it showed.
You know what? You bring up an excellent point. There's a shot of a lot of our fans here, and these are the Baseline Bums. And you talk about true fans, loyal fans, Steve Brown. These were the folks, like I said, were buying tickets back in 1973-74 when the Spurs moved to San Antonio, and it was all something new to folks. They would pull all kinds of stunts on guys like Larry Brown, who said he didn't like the guacamole, so they brought a little guacamole, and they decided to dump it on Larry Brown during the ABA days, and those were so much fun. The high-scoring battles between the Spurs and the Nuggets featuring Alex English and the Iceman George Gervin, Captain Late James Silas, Larry Keenan, and it evolves into the Bruise brothers with Paul Griffin and Mark Oberdeen, and they're all part of this dynasty as well because they got the team here, they got the fan base going, and as a result of the loyal support for folks like the Baseline Bums and the other players who came before the Tim Duncan dynasty era, they helped make the Spurs what they are today.
Well, they used to sit right on the baseline, but now they're kind of up and closer to the rafters, but they still have a great time.
It's about 3 stories up, but nonetheless, you're right. They are what exactly made this organization what it is today, and why this city rallies around. People talk about it. You know, there are only 18,575 seats inside the AT&T Center, and you see how many folks here. So here is our next barge, Steve Brown.
All right, we have Jackie Butler.
There he is.
Melvin Eli, James White, Silver Dancers, Grace Salinas, Stephanie Trevino, and Ali Vaughn.
We know it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Jackie Butler and some of these other guys who have, you know, either 1 year or an option on their year, or in some cases they are free agents. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with these guys at the end of this season. But right now, they don't have to worry about that because they have a championship ring. You think about all 3 of those guys you just saw have a championship ring, something that a guy like Charles Barkley doesn't have.
Right.
And there you go. You get that opportunity. And he knows it too. He knows it. Jackie knows how lucky he is. And so do the rest of the guys that are on that float. They understand what it takes to be a championship team, and they went through it, and they did a great job. All right, let's take a look at the city council. These are some of the dignitaries that are arriving. Everyone from District 1, Councilwoman Mary Alice Cisneros. District 2, Sheila McNeil. District 3, Roland Gutierrez. District 4, Philip Cortez. District 5, Patty Radel. She's outgoing. Incoming is Lourdes Galvan. District 6, Felicia Herrera. District 7, Justin Rodriguez. District 8, Art Hall. He's outgoing as well. Incoming is Diane Cibrian. District 9, Kevin Wolf, he's not on there, but he is the District 9 City Councilman. District 10, and there you see Patty Radel. District 10, John Clampett. City Manager Cheryl Scully will be on a later float here. But there you got a good look at some of our city officials, who, by the way, some of them are from Phoenix, and you had to ask, okay, hey, what was the deal during the Phoenix Suns? They said they were all rooting for the Spurs. I checked just to make sure.
You checked?
I checked just to make sure.
I had an interesting story about that, too, because my wife grew up in Cleveland, and last week I had a friend that came in from Cleveland. He happened to be down here for a medical convention, so they all gathered in my house. Of course, my wife is always welcome in my house, but they were rooting for the Cavs, and that was a tough one for me. I said, you know, you guys, I feel sorry for you because it's not going to be this year. Maybe another year, but not this year, and maybe not next year either.
It makes it interesting because you have so many people collected here in San Antonio now, which has become a huge hotbed for people to move here. A lot of folks who, of course, live in California are now moving here. So what's interesting about all this is that you're having more and more Spurs fans develop as they move here, and they understand why we are so enamored with this team, because A, they're good guys, B, they work hard, much like the work ethic here in San Antonio, and C, they know that their fans are loyal and they love to get back here. And that's what made it so hard about Cleveland, is not being able to celebrate with the fans there, being able to come back here.
They'll get their time, Greg, but it's not this year. This year, we're celebrating Happy Father's Day.
Six Flags Fiesta Texas has the greatest summer thrills. Get drenched on over 15 rides and slides, including Tornado at Whitewater Bay. No other water park in Texas has all this. Plus 48 rides, 7 coasters, and award-winning shows. Plus our new family roller coaster, Tony Hawk's Big Spin. It's all at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Act now. Get a free kids ticket and adults save $15 with specially marked Coke Cups from McDonald's. Six Flags Fiesta Texas. You are here.
This is a KSAT 12 special report, celebrating a dynasty.
And welcome back to the Arneson River Theater, located right here in the heart of downtown San Antonio. We're celebrating 4 NBA championship trophies, Steve Brown.
Since 1999. So I'm saying it's 4 in 8 years.
You know, I'm with you on that one. I'll give you that one. You know, even though it's 4 technically in 9 seasons, it sounds better to say 4 and 8. We're 50% over the last 8 years. Not bad, huh?
Exactly. Are these the Spurs investors that are going by us now?
Some of the folks there, and also Bill Schoenig, of course, who is the voice of the San Antonio Spurs on radio, part of that group as well. And just again, a lot of the folks that helped make it happen. And there's Paul Castro, my buddy, in Espanol broadcaster. Great guy. Look at him. He's having the time of his life, and he's having a great Father's Day as well, too. Good for Paul. He's been with the organization now for the last 9 seasons, and he's done one heck of a job. Came from Portland, and for your Spanish fans out there, as far as the Spanish broadcast, he is the core of that broadcast. In fact, he is the Spanish voice of the San Antonio Spurs. So congratulations to Paul.
That's good.
And this is the band FM 1863 that's coming up now to take a look. Give the fans a little something to celebrate here before we bring up the investors. Just kind of get a little listen in here and give you a little taste of their music. Great job. That is FM 1863, far to Market Road for those of us who live here in Bexar County in the South Texas area. So they're doing a great job to fire up the team. You know, it's taken a lot of folks to help keep this team in San Antonio. It wasn't that long ago. There was a lot of rumblings about the Maloof brothers coming here and taking over this team. But General Robert McDermott was nice enough to not let that happen and instead get Peter Holt involved. And as a result, it takes so many investors over the years that have kept this team here in San Antonio and at the same time kept it functioning, able to pay the salaries they do. So a lot of the alumni, the former investors, are now on this float, Steve, and it's their money and their passion for basketball that has kept that team here in San Antonio.
Some of the former investors here, Dr. Michael Bartrino, his son Kirk, Lily Drolsis and son, John and daughter-in-law Christine, Jack Gunther, Kim Wallen, Dr. James Hadnot and his wife Gwendolyn, Dr. William Hadnot and his wife Janice and daughter Wynette, Dr. Robert Hilliard's and son, Ron, and his granddaughter Shelby, Ron Hilliard and his granddaughter Ariane and son Rudard, Lori Holden, Gilbert Lang Matthews and his wife Susan and daughter Rosalind, Dan McCarthy and his wife Lynn and his son Daniel, Joseph Pierce and Aranetta, Louis Pitluck and his son Matt and his kids Turner and Travis, Leo Rose and his wife Chicky and his daughter Julie, Stanley Schubaum and Alan, Spurs staff Natalie Gutierrez and Veronica Ulrich.
Great job. I mean, again, those are the reasons why a lot of the folks here are able to celebrate a championship. And there is Matt Bunner, the Red Rocket himself, and with him on the float is also Beno Udrich. Now, there's a big question right now. You know, Matt Bonner, and there's Francisco Ellison smile. I thought he's probably the most emotional guy after winning the championship because, you know, here he was a free agent in Denver, came and signed with the San Antonio Spurs. At the same time, he had played overseas for a long time. And there's a whole contingent in Suriname where his parents live. And let's listen in to what Matt Bonner has to say. The Red Rocket, everybody.
I know you're new. I know you're new, but this community has just flat out wrapped you around. They've just wrapped their arms around you. That's how special San Antonio is, isn't it?
Is this thing on?
It's on, man.
All right, can I lead everybody in a cheer? All right, here we go. Follow my lead. We do it at the games. How many people have been to a game? All right, here we go. Go, Spurs, go! One last time. Oh, thank you. I always want to do that.
Cisco, get that from him. Cisco.
Can you dig it? The feeling is exceptional, man. It's sensational. I'm glad I'm a Spur. This is the best feeling ever. You know, all of you people coming out here, supporting the Spurs, just coming around, being on the Riverwalk. I know some of you guys come from afar, but you know, this is the best ever, man. This is the greatest moment right now in my life, and I'm happy to be here. So thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Go, Spurs, go! Party like a rockstar.
All right, you heard from Francisco Ellison. I tell you what, like I said, I thought he was the most excited player in the locker room because he had toiled away in other places, including overseas in Denver, and now he still has a year left on his contract. Beno Udrich has a year left on his contract. It'll be interesting to see if Beno is back, if they can convince Jock Vaughn to stay here as well. So if that's the case, we'll have to find out. But nevertheless, they get to celebrate it. Francisco gets to celebrate his first ever NBA championship, and Beno his second.
You could tell. There's Kobe Dietrich.
There's our buddy Kobe. Good to see him. Some Spurs alumni.
These are the former Spurs players.
Well, I tell you what, he is such a great guy. Good to see him out here. There is number 44, the Iceman, George Gervin. What a great shot.
His number retired to the rafters.
Does it ever get old for him, you think?
No. I don't think so. He's always smiling.
He little man, he always says. Hello, little man. Kobe Dietrich, of course, he was the center for the Spurs when they came here. And after Swin Nader, and did a great job. There's Paul Griffin and some of the other guys on the float. Again, a core that helped build a dynasty that we're celebrating today, Steve Brown.
They're out here having fun, too. We'll see you after the break.
This is a KSAT 12 special report, celebrating a dynasty.
Welcome back. It is a very special day, so it deserves a special report because we're celebrating a dynasty that has 4 championships in the Steve Brown math, 8 years.
8 years.
And the NBA math is 4 championships in 9 seasons, but
I don't know what.
Nonetheless, we're here to celebrate, and we've got 4, and not too many people do. So that makes it even more fun, doesn't it? And what makes this even more fun is not only we're going to have it for you here at the Artisan River Theater. If you look down there right now, this is a San Antonio Spurs staple. That is Al Sturgio and the sound of the Spurs. Listen, here's our famous song.
This next barge.
And here comes one that we've been waiting for, Mr. Steve Brown.
Michael Finley. And he's here with his wife and his daughter Mika. His wife is Rebecca. His mother Bertha. mother-in-law, niece, Ashley, and nephews, Antoine and Carl. Also, Robert Ory.
Big Shot Rob is on board as well, and you know he's going to have something to say because it never gets old seeing Big Shot Rob perform in the playoffs. And you know what? He's going to have one more year. Let's listen in.
This man right here, can you put up 7?
That's one thing about the San Antonio Spurs, they go support their team. And that's why we try to provide championship trophies for you.
Michael Finley, we're going to give you this right here. No, you can still hold that up now. Don't let that stop you.
Jacques Vaughn's right here.
Jacques, you got to stand up too now. Michael, congratulations.
Thank you.
We are absolutely thrilled. If you're going to get to hold that, you get to hold it in this city. And what was amazing was all the players, they were thrilled to win it for you. That's the reason why you chose San Antonio, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. San Antonio, thank you for everything. Thank you for welcoming me with open arms. I came here for championships, and that's what we got. Thank you.
Now, Michael, I noticed you said plural. You said championships, plural. Not done, are we? We're not done.
Well, Robert's done this 7 times. I can get used to this.
Hey, Michael, I want to, Jacques Vaughn, real quick. Jacques, you were the first player signed by the Spurs in this offseason. They targeted you. There's a reason. You are a winner, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you, San Antonio. The other day, Michael Finley said, why not San Antonio? I'll say, why not back to back?
Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Congratulations.
We're hearing more and more of that talk now, Steve Brown, because the Spurs really only have a small window of opportunity with everybody together here. But Jacques Vaughn is his option year. Whether or not he's going to come back, I think he will. I know the Spurs want him back. Robert Ory, he wants to play another season. He's already told us that. And there you see Michael Finley. He has another year left on his contract. Now, I guarantee you, he may want to test the free agent waters and opt out. But at the same time, I think he's very happy here right now. And you think about it, he used to be the enemy. And now he is a member of the San Antonio Championship Spurs and doing a great job.
Eat your heart out, Mark Cuban.
And you know what? Here's the funny thing about it. Mark Cuban is still paying Michael Finley.
How do you get a job like that?
I know, we all need one like that as well. Here comes members of the Commissioner's Court, and why they're so central and critical here, Steve Brown, is a simple fact. A lot of this wouldn't have happened unless it had been for the Commissioner's Court and allowing the AT&T Center to be built on county property.
All right, you want it? Okay, we have from the Commissioner's Court, Precinct 1, Sergio Chico Rodriguez. Precinct 2, Paul Elizondo. Precinct 3, Lyle Larson. Precinct 4, Tommy Atkinson, Bexar County. David Marquez, District Attorney Susan Reed. Sheriff Ralph Lopez, District Clerk Margaret Montemayor. And we're going to have to take a quick break, and we will be back with more parade coverage.
It is never too early to think about celebrating next season as well, and here's how you can do it with the 11-game championship pack. You get 11 great Spurs games, including the opening night ring ceremony when the Spurs receive their 2007 NBA championship rings. The cost is only $269 for all 11 games. Operators are standing by to take your order at 225-TEAM. That's 225-8326, or you can go to spurs.com. Hey, you do not want to delay because that offer is for tonight only, and that offer for the 11-game championship pack ends at midnight. Once again, 11 great Spurs games, including the always special opening night, which includes the ring ceremony. The Spurs will be receiving their 2007 NBA championship rings. 225-TEAM, or Spurs.com. We celebrate more from the river. Stay with us here as the Spurs Championship Celebration Parade continues.
Get the power of KSAT 12 news and weather wherever you go. Now you can get late-breaking local news, live Doppler radar, and more. The best of KSAT.com, all in your cell phone. Everything you need to be in the know when you're on the go. Log on to KSAT.com for details. This is a KSAT 12 special report, celebrating a dynasty.
And welcome back to the Artisan River Theater. Greg Simmons along with my buddy Steve Brown here. You having a good time so far?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
We have some good music to go with it.
I'll tell you what, so far we've seen Tony Parker with his NBA Finals MVP trophy. We've seen Michael Finley. We've seen Big Shot Rob. And we have saved the best for last? I don't know about that. But in other words, you still have a lot more to watch here.
Manu.
And we're not going to just stop here. We're going to take you all the way down river, all the way down to Municipal Auditorium, so you won't miss a second of our live coverage here. We have it covered here at Artisan River Theater, and we'll follow the trophy all the way back down to the Municipal Auditorium. So you'll get to see it all, and we will stay with you up until 10 o'clock tonight. So we're looking forward to that.
That was the Wilbert Beasley Band, in case we didn't mention it. And next, lined up right behind the arch here, are some of the Spurs players.
Well, I'll tell you what, this next guy here has been a tremendous, tremendous talent. And in fact, there you see the flag of Argentina, because you know who's coming up next. That is Manu Ginobili. And what makes Manu such a joy to watch, he is such a hard worker. He throws his body into everything. And his teammate are the Argentina national team and the Spurs team is Fabricio Alberto and Manu and his wife Mani. I always think that's funny. You got Manu and Mani. He had to marry her, right?
Fabricio's here with his wife Lorena, his daughter Julia, his babysitter Guadalupe, and his friend Bruno. And we have some of the media staff here. Tom James, are they going to speak to us?
It's on.
Okay,
Thank you very much for coming, guys. You don't know how much we appreciate it. It's been a wonderful journey, and to share with you guys that we're so supportive of the whole season is unbelievable. So thank you very, very much. Gracias a todos, en serio. Saben que sin ustedes esto no sería posible. Así que les agradecemos de corazón. Without you, probably none of the 4 championships could have been won. So we really respect you guys, and we feel so thankful of being part of this organization, of this city. So thank you very much again.
That is awesome. Telling the fans here, that is just great, because telling me here that without the fans here in San Antonio, none of the 4 championships would have been possible. Let's listen to Fab.
For the support. I'm really proud to be part of this team, and you know, you guys give us so many things this year, and hopefully, you know, we can get more things. Thank you very much.
Fabricio, special to win it with this guy right here. Is it special to win it with him?
Well, it's great, great. We got so many experience together that it's one more, and this one is a big one. It's really, for me, it's like a dream come true with him.
Congratulations.
Gracias, gracias.
You know, it's for Fabricio here. What makes it so amazing is he's got a gold medal now, and he also has an NBA championship ring, and his teammate on the Argentine national team now has 3. And there you see the crowd responding to Manu picking up the trophy. That's the 3rd time he's been able to do that. Remember, he came to the Spurs right after the 1990 season when he won their first. So isn't that funny?
He's an exciting player. I like when Charles Barkley watches him. Every time Manu does something special, it's always Ginobili!
There is R.C. Buford. He is, of course, celebrating the dynasty as a vice president and the general manager of the San Antonio Spurs. He and his wife, Beth, are on the float, along with their children and guests. And he's just done a tremendous job of scouting foreign players. He's one reason why Tony Parker is here. Also another reason why, of course, Manu Ginobili is here. And they do such a fantastic job of getting out there and scouting overseas in college that they've been able to build a core of this team. And remember, they got Tony with a 28th pick. and now they have the 28 pick again, so it's always interesting to me. Who are they going to find this time that nobody may even be aware of? What diamond in the rough is out there for them to harvest?
Well, I'm just glad they stuck with Tony Parker. Remember when they were about ready to give up on Tony and Jason Kidd there were talks of trade rumors, and it just worked out exceptionally well. And Tony was out to prove something as well. I'm convinced of that.
And I agree with you, because he was really bothered by the fact they went after Jason Kidd and even entertained the thought of replacing him with a more veteran point guard. And when they did that, I think it just fired him up, and he's been a better player ever since. He worked during this offseason on his mid-range jump shot thanks to Chip England, and he wound up being such a big threat. They couldn't just shut off the lane. They had to shut him out from outside, and that's what made him the triple threat.
He was awesome this year.
Here's a group
he's getting close to a three-point player, too.
You're right. And here's a group of his current Spurs investors, everybody from Charlie Amato and his son Marcus, all the way down to Bruce Hill, Phil Markey, Gene Matthews, and, of course, H.B. Zachary and Charles Kennedy. Again, there's Charlie Amato right there. He owns Southwest Business Corporation here in San Antonio. In fact, just opened up an outfit over in London, so he's been traveling overseas and trying to work all this in. And also, I think I see some Steve Brown rattles on that float as well, Steve. Obviously, you've done a great job of distributing the product.
I didn't bring this famous rattle down here today. It still has a little Band-Aid around it, and it has the correct pitch. It has the tune that carries you over the top year after year, and it's still with us.
And you know what? It is battle-worn, and it has stood the test of time so far. And now we have to get it to work its magic to where it actually rattles us to back-to-back championships now.
That's what we're working on, and I think we're going to do it. Okay, we're just minutes away. We're going to come back with more Spurs coverage.
So what do you want? You want selection? How about 20 makes with 530 models at our 13 locations?
Mileage? Ansira has over 50 models that get at least 25 miles per gallon.
Service? Ansira has over 170 certified technicians, making sure your work is done right.
So what do you want? Whether it's Dodge, Chevrolet, Buick, Ford, Volkswagen, GMC, Pontiac, Nissan, Mercury, Chrysler, Jeep, Kia, or recreational vehicles.
This is a KSAT 12 special report, celebrating a dynasty.
Welcome back to the Artisan River Theater. Greg Simmons along with my buddy Steve Brown, and so far so good. We've got about 10 barges go down the path here. Everybody's looking great. Everybody's having fun. Some celebrating 4 championships, some celebrating their first, and it makes it even more fun.
Yeah, it was nice to see Michael Findlay go by, because a lot of the players had a special place in their heart for Michael. They kept saying, this is for the Finn. And I don't know why that is. Give us some insight into that.
Well,
Greg.
because, quite frankly, he's such a great guy. I mean, he was the enemy when he played for Dallas, obviously. But when you think about it, how far back he's been, he was with Phoenix. He was with Dallas for most of his career. And then they just said, you know what, you're too expensive for us, so we're going to kind of push you aside. And at the same time, he goes as a free agent. He winds up signing right here in San Antonio, and it's so much better for us. There's some of the Spurs front office staff. That is Lawrence Payne, who is the director of broadcasting for the San Antonio Spurs and vice president. You saw Russ Bookbinder a little bit earlier. He's the executive vice president of the San Antonio Spurs. That is Rick Pitch. He is, of course, one of the main guys who are getting the AT&T Center and getting up there and getting, of course, everything organized for getting the AT&T Center constructed. And, well, that was a whale of a job, too, to get that thing from start to finish. But those are the people in the front office. Those are the people who make the big decisions that are non-basketball related. So when you go to the game, you have a good time. That's because of these folks here. They really know how to put on a show. Not just the game, but it just what goes on in between everything that's going on. But now coming up next is the man who is the architect of this dynasty, Steve Brown.
The big guy, Pop. And there was a time, I think Pop was kind of on the outs with a lot of the people in San Antonio, but now he's gold. Pop's going to have something to say to the crowd, we're quite sure on that one. Also, he's here with his daughter, Jill, and assistant coach, PJ Carlesimo. There's Pop. Pop, say something.
We're going to talk with you. We're going to get you a microphone.
You know, he's got a great staff with him too, Steve Brown, and they've done such a fantastic job of staying together. But PJ Carlesimo probably not going to be around much longer.
Pop, congratulations. You bet it does. You bet it does.
Whoa.
Thank you all for coming out. Somehow or other, we got this thing done again, but we all know why. We're the luckiest town in America to have a bunch of guys with the character they have. They worked hard. You all supported them all year long. We appreciate that. And we're going to continue to try to do it the right way, but we appreciate you all being out here. We kicked ass. All the little kids, I apologize, but it's just me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't know I could count that high, but now I'm doing pretty good. You guys take care.
Hey, Pop. It was a great way to start the season, wasn't it, in France, and an even sweeter way to finish it in Cleveland?
Yeah, it's been a long year. It started in Paris, and Tony showed us a good time there, and he showed us a good time in the finals, too. He did a hell of a job.
And I know the way you are, without these people in that boat, it doesn't get done for you, does it?
Well, there's one guy that, is the brains behind the operation. Alex is his name. He's right here. Stand up, Alex. Show him. Stand up, Alex. Give a thing, We all know about Coach Carlissimo down here with his son, right? And Coach Budenholzer, who's been with me here for a whole decade. And Coach Brown over here, who's been with us from Australia for the last 5 years, giving us all his input. Coach England, who taught Tony Parker how to shoot right here. This is the guy who's been here only a couple of years, but he's the man that makes them all tough, Donnie Newman right here. And Mike Wells has been with us the shortest amount of time, and he's our advanced scout to tell us what all those bad guys are doing, Mike Wells. And then back in the film room, putting everything together so we can see it on film, JB right here and his crew, BK and Alex and Vince. But Vince got to stand up one more time because Vince is the man.
Pop, thank you so much. Congratulations.
You guys are the best. Thank you very much. Pretty excited.
I say there's a shot of PJ Carlissimo and his son Kyle, and I'll tell you, Steve, I don't know that he's going to be around much longer because right now Sam Presti is a general manager up in Seattle. He came from the Spurs as the assistant general manager, and I got a feeling that PJ may get that head coaching job after this championship celebration is over.
These old Spurs come back to haunt us. Mike Brown.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. But you know what? There is Mike Budenholzer. Chip England. Now, there's a guy, if you want to give credit to somebody, Chip England is a shooting coach, and he's a guy that worked with Tony during the offseason and gave him that mid-range jumper, which obviously he is great at now and makes him just that much more of a threat to any opponent.
Oh, it was in the bank when Tony had the ball as long as it was inside the three-point line, but he showed us also he could hit the three-pointer, which would be awesome. And guess who's coming down the road?
Here's your man, Steve Brown. Take it away.
Big Tim Duncan. Bruce Bowen, also one of my personal favorites. The guy is just a lot of fun. I know for a fact.
Hey, Bruce.
These two are going to have something to say.
Happy Father's Day is all I can say to you. It's on. Yep, it's on. You bet.
San Antonio, how y'all doing? First of all, I want to thank you guys for all your continued support. I know this big guy right here really appreciates it. And it's because of your support that it allows us to do the things that we do out there on the court, and we thank you for that.
Hey, I want to get something from Tim real quick. Tim, you show class all the time, and maybe none better than when Tim talked about the other players on this team getting their first trophy. Once again, it shows why we have the best team and the best player, Tim. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
We've been blessed. We've been blessed. We've got 4 of these. We bring another one home this year. A lot of guys haven't done it, but you guys continue to come out and support us. We continue to do our best, and hopefully we can get another one.
Hey, Bruce, that's the word blessed, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's a key word.
That's what he said.
Congratulations, you guys. Enjoy it. Well deserved. You bet. Congratulations, Bruce Bowen and Tim Duncan.
Bruce Bowen,
Thank you
quite
so
the
much,
character,
everybody.
but he's 36 years old. He plays like he's 26. Just an incredible man to be able to do that. And there's his championship. That's number 4 right there that Bruce and Tim are holding up. And Tim Duncan, 3 years left on his contract, option year after next season. We think he's going to stay. We hope he does because he's the reason why we have 4 NBA titles right here.
He's the common thread. He's been here for the entire thing. You've seen it. He's seen it all.
And then tell you what, he and his wife Amy are expecting the second child, and Bruce Bowen, of course, just wound up with his second child. So it's a happy Father's Day for everybody. More live coverage of the Spurs dynasty as we continue live here on KSAT 12.
SeaWorld Summer Nights, because it's a different park after dark.
This is a KSAT 12 special report, celebrating a dynasty.
It began with the Ice Age.
On him like
And
glue.
this may go.
It does. Love it.
And set sail with the Admiral.
Here we go.
But it wasn't until a young man from the island of St. Croix landed in the Spurs' lap that the future of the franchise changed.
The San Antonio Spurs have won their first NBA championship.
But true champions are never satisfied, always seeking to improve.
I don't know that much about him, but if he got in the first round, he must be a good player.
Always looking for the next piece of the puzzle.
For me, it's a new adventure. It's a dream making true. So I'm really excited.
Then executing the plan to perfection.
A lot of people talked about their 99 title having an asterisk next to it. The 2003 title's about to have an exclamation point next to it. The San Antonio Spurs are your world champion. And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions. The San Antonio Spurs are NBA champions once again. Their 4th title in 9 years.
4 trips, 4 trophies for you.
Welcome back to the Alamo Dome. I'm Ursula Perry here with Steve Spriester as we continue our live coverage of the NBA championship celebration. The parade is over, but the party is not.
Yeah, and that cold open, that segment we just showed there gives you shivers. Certainly when you see the enthusiasm of the Spurs fans here, it is contagious. Now, the parade at this point has wound past the Artisan River Theater, but we're going to continue to give you coverage along the parade route, including our Doug Shoup, who joined us along Navarro Street, right next to Dick's Last Resort. At least that's where he was the last time I talked to him. Doug.
Well, Steve and Ursula, it's very difficult to hear you right now because the sound of the Spurs just went by us. Now, you can take a look here. We are at the Novato Street Bridge near the Crockett Street intersection. For those familiar with this area, you know that's near the Hard Rock Cafe. Just take a look at how crowded this area has become. You can see over here near Dick's, it is standing room only there. There is a crowd trying to make its way through a very narrow space there on the walkway here along the Riverwalk. But as you can see, a lot of people have come out for this very unique parade, and very appropriate since this is a very unique team. Again, here we go. Another barge is making its way. We have Michael Finley, Robert Horry, and Jacques Vaughn. Now, number 4, Michael Finley, is an 11-year NBA veteran who has won his first championship ever with the San Antonio Spurs. He's a 2-time NBA All-Star and attended Wisconsin. Michael is accompanied by his wife, Rebecca, his daughter, Mika, and several other members of his family. Also on the barge, number 5, Robert Horry, also known as Big Shot Rob. Horry is the only active player in the NBA to have won 7 NBA championships. He won 3 with the Lakers and 2 with the Rockets and attended Alabama. Horry is accompanied by his friends and family. Also, number 11, Jacques Vaughn. This is Jacques' first season with the Spurs and his first championship. Now, coming out back here live, we're going to speak with one of the fans who came out here for this parade. This is Fernando. What do you think of the parade so far?
It's great. It's great. It's awesome. This is my first time here. About my family. I have my little girls that are now grown up, and I want them to enjoy this. And that's why I'm here. Just enjoy it. It's a great time.
San Antonio native. Fernando, talk to me about what you're really looking forward to most about this parade.
The pride of San Antonio. We feel like there's no respect in us, or they don't give us respect. And showing the world how to enjoy a nice family event here. And that's it. I mean, just to enjoy and have my girls and my boys enjoy.
Let's take a look at them. They're over here wanting to say hi here, watching the parade. What do you guys think?
I think this parade is fun, and I'm really enjoying all the basketball players being here.
All the basketball players being here. What do you think?
It's loud and fun, very loud, and I like it.
What did you want to see most here in this parade?
The Spurs.
I want to see the Spurs player, and that's what everybody really wants to see. The Spurs players, the biggest attraction here. You know, Fernando, talk to me about the difference between this year's NBA championship and this celebration compared to the other years that we've had, especially the win.
This is the fourth one. You don't get a lot of opportunities out there to get 4 championships in 9 years. And this is the best one. This is the best one ever. Hopefully next year we get the repeat. That'll be the next one, the best one, and everyone's going to get better and better.
5, wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh yeah, it will.
Okay,
it will.
Fernando, thanks for talking with us. You and your family enjoy the parade.
Thank you.
Now back here, we are here at the Novato Street Bridge again. This is about the halfway point. This is about the halfway point for the parade. Right now they're the in-between barges. We're going to stick around here though and bring you more of these live pictures as the parade continues through this area. For now, let's check in with Jennifer Dodd, who's at another location here along the Riverwalk.
Hi Doug, I'm here with Tim Gerber. We are at Houston Street in Soledad, and right now we're waiting on barge number 13 to come down. Take a look. We have tons of people, and here they come. These are the Spurs alumni players. Gordon Gervin, the Iceman, Paul Griffin, Captain Late, Kobe Dietrich, Mike Gell is also on this one. We have Johnny Special K. Lots of old timers here. We're having a good time. The sun is finally going down a little bit. It's not quite as hot as it was earlier. And Tim, I think you have someone over here. He's been here for quite some time.
He's been here a very long time, and in fact, this is his second time being here. It's Ray Tejeda, correct?
Yes, sir. How are you, Tim?
Good. You were here in 1999. How does this compare to 1999?
Well, 2007 is a lot sweeter. I mean, any year is sweeter, but 99 was always the sweetest. What can you say? Go Spurs, go.
Does it get stale after a while, do you think, or does this city just know how to party with the championship?
That's one thing about San Antonio. We do know how to party. We know how to throw a party and keep it safe.
All right, so everybody's having a good time. I understand you have your video camera here. You get some good shots of the players?
Actually, I am. It's good footage. I mean, like I said, it's just a great feeling overall. Go Spurs.
All right. Think we'll be back here a year from now?
I can't guarantee, but I can almost guarantee we'll probably win about 2 or 3 more.
All right, fantastic. We're watching some more of the Spurs baseline bums, some of the hardcore fans that are there game after day, celebrating today on one of the barges as well. Let's check back in with Jennifer here. You've got the rundown on who these folks are.
The baseline bums, these guys are great. Well, you know what? Over here we have some folks who've been here for a while watching this. Are you guys having a good time?
Yeah, great. It's great to be here.
I thought that.
I'm almost going to guarantee that repeat. If everyone comes back, we will take that repeat.
Oh.
Guaranteeing that one.
Did you hear that?
There's no one that could
Guarantee
stop us. We're ready to go. It's over. I mean, if everyone comes back, it's over.
That is quite a bit of confidence you have there.
Yeah, of course. Being a Spurs fan for the past 10 years, yeah.
Well, tell us who your favorite barge is. Who do you want to see? Who you've been waiting on all day?
Timmy, Manu.
I'm right here. My name's Tim. Does that count?
We saw Parker.
It's all Duncan. I don't think that counts, Tim.
No, I'm just a short guy. Who wants to know what Tim Gerber's up to?
Oh, you're not that short. Take a look at this, Sal. Look over here. Earlier, I had on heels, and Tim and I came out here. He made me change shoes. He made me put these on because I was about this much taller than him, but I'm still taller than him.
My wife likes to call me portable. I'm just a little short guy.
Well, who do we have here? Who are we waiting to come up next? Let's see. I think we have the Spur alumni players. Right now, we're just waiting on a couple of barges to come around. We have some Spurs staff, lots of neat people. Michael Finley's on his way out here. I'm excited to see that one. Robert Ory, Big Shot Bob is on his way.
Fans down here.
I know. Look, wave. Oh, love these guys.
Everybody down here having a good time. Now that the sun has gone down, really getting cooler down here on the Riverwalk. Just listening to everybody. You know, after 3 of these in the past, you'd think that this would get a little old, but people here in San Antonio definitely know how to have a party. They are out here, they've been out in the heat all day long, and they just continue to go strong. San Antonio knows how to party. That's what I've learned about living here.
You know what, I can't imagine this ever getting old. And I think I hear music. I think I hear a barge coming around the bend. And I do believe, if I have these in order properly, this is Michael Finley, Robert Ory, some of the Silver Dancers. Let's see. A few of these have been out of order, so I'm not sure, but I hope so.
But it sounds like good music, good Texas music to celebrate the championship as they come down the Riverwalk here tonight. Just take a listen to it as it comes around the corner here. Everybody having a great time.
All right, I'm going to show you. Take a look on the side of the boat to see who this is. I can't pronounce it, but this. Now we have Michael Finley coming up next. I like that. We should dance. How do you dance to this?
No dancing.
No dancing. We need some people up here to dance. Nobody's dancing.
All right, that's the look from our angle up here. Everybody having a good time as the parade comes down this way.
Here comes Michael Finley.
And more players are coming. Right now, though, we're going to go back to Steve and Ursula.
All right, thank you, Tim and Jennifer. Having some great times there. Al Sturcio and his band floating by on the river, waiting for Michael Finley and Robert Ory. And here, the party hasn't even really begun yet. I mean, they've been watching the river parade here, but people are still coming in the door.
That's right, and if history serves tonight, the people who are down at the parade, as soon as they're done seeing all 27, 28 barges, they will begin to make their way here to the Alamo Dome. So this place, already the upper tier is beginning to get filled, and we can probably expect to see it filled all the way around if that will be the case again this year.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Shakespearean play, you know, it's like the Spurs in the round. That kind of famous Spurs in the round tonight. Here's Michael Finley holding on to that first NBA trophy that he earned along with Jock Vaughn and Robert Ory. And I remember back to Robert Ory's first NBA championship in San Antonio. He took the stage and he took the trophies and he dusted them all off and showed each corner of the stage the trophy. And, you know, quite the showman Robert can be. And it'll be interesting to see tonight if they take all 4 trophies to each corner of the stage to show the crowd here at the Alamo Dome. A little tradition. And perhaps some rapping as well from Tony Parker.
That would be good. We need a little someone to show off all their rings, you know. Now there's 4, so that ought to make a nice shot on a couple of knuckles there. We're having a great time watching the parade go by, the baseline bums who are always a lot of fun to watch. And, of course, it's always fun inside the dome to get to meet people who are celebrating their own special way as well.
That's right, absolutely. Now, we are going to continue to follow the parade as it winds its full route from the Artisan Theater over to Crockett Street before they make their way here to the Alamo Dome. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching KSAT 12's continuing coverage of Celebrating a Dynasty.
This is a KSAT 12 special report. Celebrating a Dynasty.
And welcome back, everybody, to live coverage here of championship number 4, the River Parade. I'm Mike Osterhage, along with Mark Austin from Good Morning San Antonio, and it is just fantastic. I mean, it feels like it was just yesterday we were down here doing this.
What's funny is about 2 or 3 months ago, I told Mike, wouldn't it be great if we could go out on a weekend, celebrate with the fans again as we win another title? And here we are once again. You're going to be with us for a little while here. We've been listening to coverage from the Dome, Artisan, back down this way. Right now, we are near the Southwest Craft Center waiting for the next barge to approach and the next big one. We've got a band coming up, and then Michael Finley should be making an appearance.
And of course, as you can see in this picture, fans are lining about 2-3 deep on each side of the river, and they are the most patient fans. A lot of folks have been down here since, roughly 3-4 o'clock this afternoon, and as soon as a barge comes by with somebody they recognize, it's like flicking a switch and everybody just goes nuts.
Did you notice that after Eva Longoria came by, about 2/3 of the crowd left?
The guys?
The guys, no, I'm just kidding, of course. But, I mean, the weather could not be better if we were talking about that chance of storms for today. And we've seen some storms filling the distance, but right now it is grade A, blue ribbon weather for our Spurs and the fans.
On this part of the river where we have lots of shade around here and the shade from the buildings as well. We have a little bit of music coming in here right now. It's the sound of the Spurs band.
Nice tunes for a celebration here in San Antonio. Mike's going to take a little walk down to the to Riverwalk Edge here.
I want to talk to a couple of the fans right now. We're live on TV. You've been down here for a long time. So it is championship number 4. Which was your favorite?
We've been here for all 4 of them, and every single year it gets better.
Really? But there was the first one, the novelty of the first one, the first championship ever here.
In 03, when we were
99.
No, not the first one, yeah.
Mike, I'm going to jump in here real quick. Michael Finley is coming by with one of the trophies, including Robert Horry and Jacques Vaughn. Robert, I'm looking for you here. I don't see you. You see, there he is. Now he's waving to us right there. Jacques Vaughn, Robert Horry, and Michael Finley on that one.
And it's always so great, even some of the behind-the-scenes Spurs staff, hearing them talk about Michael Finley, and they call him Finn, and they were just what they say about him, just how nice of a guy he is, and everybody was so glad to see that he won a championship finally after more than a dozen years in the NBA.
Now, we're waiting for the county officials to come by, and I can tell you all this talk of dynasty right now. The other day, I was telling you earlier as we were waiting for the parade, Mike, about ESPN.com had a survey. Do you think the Spurs winning 4 is a legitimate dynasty? Overwhelmingly the country, if not the world, voted yes, except for one state. And you would think it would be Ohio for Cleveland, but it was actually Arizona, home of the Phoenix Suns.
I love the one statistic. When you look at the other 3 major sports in the country, the Yankees have won 3, the Red Wings have won 3, and the Patriots have won 3 in the past 10 years. The Spurs have won 4 in the past 9 years. So they are the best team, basically, in all the professional sports right now.
And they are our team. All right, there goes some of the county officials waiting for some of your San Antonio Silver Stars to come on by here. Big crowd out here, everybody having a great time, lots of smiles, and a plethora of interesting T-shirts after we won with a sweep. But some of the Silver Stars will wave to the crowd here. Hi, guys. Hope you guys have a great season, too.
Supporting their brother-sister teams, of course owned by the same organization, by the Spurs Sports and Entertainment. And it's nice of them to come out to cheer for the guys, and hopefully the ladies can get a trophy one of these days.
Indeed. Now, as we wait for our next barge, Mike, as I was coming in today to today's parade coverage on I-10, saw a great billboard that usually has been a big pep rally billboard for the city as far as the team throughout the season. Today, new billboard. You know what it said? For you, F-O-U-R-U, with 4 trophies on the board.
And the trophy is only, a couple of days old, or been in our hands for just a couple of days, and now everybody's going, okay, let's go for 5 now. Let's give Horry his 8th ring.
Why not? I'm going to tell our art department right now and our whole management team, why don't we call next year's Strive for 5? We'll just go ahead and get the exclusive rights to that right now.
Moonlighting in the promotions department as of right now?
Sure, why not?
We're waiting on the next barge, which is just on the other side of Convent Street over there. And again, the fans are so patient in waiting for these barges to come by because they just want to see their Spurs. Of course, we got the coaching staff yet to come, and of course, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, and a lot more of the great Spurs that are going to be coming down the river.
Next up, Spurs staff. And by the way, just so you know, there's at least 1 or 2 more live shots beyond us before they wrap things up down at Municipal Auditorium. That's where the team will debarge, or I want to say deplane.
You can say debarge.
Debarge. Wasn't that a band? Never mind.
Like
anyway, so debarge, get on the buses, head on over the Dome for the big celebration later on. But people are watching this right now live in the Alamo Dome.
Yes, indeed, and we are going to be showing you every bit of it if you didn't get a chance to come down here to the river or to the Alamo Dome, because Steve and Ursula and Leslie and Larry are all down there. You are not going to miss a minute of it right here on KSAT 12.
More of the Spurs staff on this one. You don't know the faces. These are all the behind-the-scenes people. If you went to Spurs.com, clicked on staff, it'd be several pages. It's a yearbook of silver and black. Lots and lots of people behind the scenes, Mike.
More than 100 of these. I looked at one of the yearbooks at one of the games this year, and at least more than 100 people out there doing everything from taking care of the team too behind the scenes. It's a business. They have to run a business.
Here's my question for you, Mike, as we wait for this next barge. Do we ever get used to this, or is this every year kind of a, wow, here we are and it never gets old?
I don't think it really ever gets old, because a championship, as Tim Duncan was saying one time, it's brand new, and I think it's probably like having more children if you're a parent. By the way, happy Father's Day to all the dads.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you, sir. Likewise. It's another child. I mean, you strive all year long, and they had a tough playoff series. A lot of people think that since they swept the finals, that was the easiest game, but Phoenix was no slouch by any means.
We've got the Wilbur Beasley and the Body and Soul Band. Let's take a listen real quick, and we'll talk more about this season, put things into perspective. And I see a flag from Argentina around the bend, but let's listen in for a moment. The song, Celebrate, good times, come on, kind of fits, doesn't it? And a drummer using one hand, that's talent.
And what's so amazing about this as well, the people around the country, we're used to seeing parades on the river, but this is really the only place in the country a championship team has a parade on the river right through downtown.
All right, it's going to get harder to hear us because Manu and Fabricio Alberto are next with one of the trophies. Here they are. A lot of people, this is the payoff for a lot of folks. We saw Tony, now here's Manu and Fabi. We'll wave along, we're fans too, right?
Crowd's going nuts.
And what I love about it, Mike, Manu clapping along with the fans.
And people are just about tripping over themselves trying to get the perfect spot with their cell phone cameras to get a shot of Manu Ginobili as he makes his way down there. And boy, he's one of, they say, the big three. You can say the whole team is the team, but he really came through the clutch for us.
No, it's a little hard to hear us still. Got another trophy up here. Some of the Spurs coaching staff here. These are the guys, especially R.C. Buford up front. He's the brainchild of a lot of what the team does in the off-season. Big hats off to him and the rest of the staff.
And he's the one that probably, as soon as they get, we're going to go to break right now, and we're going to come back with more live coverage of the River Parade. Let me tell you, it's hard to hear down here, but it is exciting. We'll be back.
We will be back.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant James Mather. I'm assigned to the 506 Air Expeditionary Group, Kirkuk Regional Air Base, Iraq. I'd like to say hi to my wife and my kids, her family down in San Antonio, and I just wanted to say, go Spurs.
This is a KSAT 12 special report, celebrating a dynasty.
All right, welcome back. Tim Gerber and I are at Houston Street and Soledad, and we are waiting on a very important barge right now, the big barge.
It's the one everybody has been waiting for, Big Tim Duncan making his way down the river. But before that, Coach Popovich and his barge is coming down first. You're going to see this place light up when they see Timmy coming.
Well, Coach Pop just passed. I know, see, Tim here was looking at the cutest child on earth, so he missed Pop come by. Where is she?
Where did she go? Come over here real quick. Real quick, this has got to be one of the youngest Spurs fans we've seen out here. Is this one of the future Spurs dancers?
Yeah, this is one of the silver stars right here.
Tell me who she is.
Her name's Precious Love. Say hi.
And how old is Precious Love? How old is she?
8 months.
5 months? 8 months. And what do you think she thinks about all of this?
I think she loves the Spurs.
Thank you very much. A lot of people out here having a good time. In fact, we actually had a guy up here. I think he might have had a little too much to drink because he's buying ice cream for everyone. He didn't bother to offer us any, but he was buying ice cream, throwing it over the edge for all those people down there. But how rude of him not to give us any ice cream. We're sweating.
I told him I wanted some. I said, where's my popsicle? Now, look at everyone down here. You can see they're pensive. They're patiently waiting because any moment now, Tim Duncan and Bruce Bowen are going to come around the bend here, and that's what everyone's waiting on. See, they're having a good time. Look at everyone. And that is a popsicle you see floating there. This man Tim was talking about, he's decided to toss him across the lake here, across the river, to these folks, but he didn't quite make it. But
what's everybody waiting for?
Who are you waiting on?
The Spurs.
They're on their way. Wait, you have your camera ready.
I'm waiting on Parker.
Tony Parker already passed.
Oh man.
I just disappointing these poor kids.
All right, well, we'll check back in here in a little bit, but first let's go check back in with Larry and Leslie.
All right, thank you guys. We're here on the floor of the Alamo Dome. We're surrounded by about 15 to 20,000 of our closest Spurs friends. Let me show you some youngsters in the front row down here. Starting down here, we got Stephanie, we got Jasmine, we got Haley, Jorge, Josh, and Jonathan. They all love their Spurs, and they're so excited that the team has won another championship. Now, once again, like I said, we got 15 to 20,000 of our favorite fans. Leslie Mouton has found somebody, and she's with the guy with the trophy. Leslie?
Is it crazy over here or what? I want to introduce you to some of these great bands. Why are we here tonight, guys? Because of who?
Larry Rubio.
The Spurs? Because of the Spurs. This is Jesse. This is a very special trophy that was made. Jesse, explain to us, Jesse Monreal, explain to us why this is special.
This is special because the kids from San Juan Community Center from the Parks and Recreation constructed this mock trophy, and it represents champions, and that's what our kids represent to us, is champions.
It's a great job. They did a great job. And let me show you a couple of things. Where is my little fan? Oh, there he is. Take a look at this little guy here. And turn around. Stand up. We have some serious Spurs fans, but wait, you've got to see this hat. Where's the hat? Let me see the hat. Come over here. Take a look at this. What's your name?
David Hernandez.
Tell me about the hat.
My hat's come a long way from the first championship since '99 when Mr. Robinson was in here.
It's very special. Show us what it does. Absolute craziness. And you know what? I found a few more bands that are just nuts, having a blast over here. And we've been doing the wave. I don't know if they're going to do it again in a minute, but we've been having fun over here. And over here somewhere, come back over here. You remember her? I introduced you to her a little while ago. She may be the #1 Spurs fan ever, because not only did she make the skirt with all the championship trophies on it, she's on a ticket. She actually made it on a ticket, so it's fantastic. Larry, a lot of fun over here, and I'll take you back in a minute and introduce you to more things.
I didn't hear a word Leslie said. It is so loud in this place right now. Mark, forget looking at me. Let's get another shot of all these fans in here. Come on, everybody. You can see they are so very excited. They're holding up their Express News fan bangos that say Dynasty. The Spurs are truly the greatest team in the NBA in the past 9 to 10 seasons. I mean, they've got what it takes top to bottom, from management to the players. Of course, anchored by Tim Duncan, Tony Parker winning the MVP, Manu Ginobili coming off the bench for Mike Spark. You got Robert Horry, Big Shot Rob, with 7 championship rings. That is truly amazing. We'll come back here in just a little bit. Let's check in now with Mike and Mark over at the bridge, guys.
Yeah, we are here, and we are just coming upon us right now is the Spurs coaching staff, head coach Greg Popovich, and this crowd loves him.
Tel Aviv, he's saying thank you, or stop it, or both. Hey, Coach, how you doing? Thank you, sir.
4 championships under his belt at the helm of the Spurs. Of course, a graduate of the Air Force Academy, and he is just the master of taking these great players, the oldest team in the league, and making them champions now for the 4th time in 9 seasons.
And that's second to last. The next big one, of course, is Timmy and a trophy.
That is true. He's going to be coming around the corner in just a couple of minutes. And of course, the coaching staff, we're talking about R.C. Buford as well as Pop R.C. Buford, the general manager. They've got a lot of work ahead of them now with some of the free agents and some of the contracts and some of the guys. Now, Robert Horry, of course, has said, I want to come back. He may have, one of those outs or something like that on his contract. But yeah, their job begins, well, maybe in a few days. They could probably take a few days off.
How about tomorrow? Or no, vacation would be good, right? So we take our job seriously here, KSAT 12, but where else can you anchor NBA celebration coverage in shorts and flip-flops? Hey, it's San Antonio in June. What are you going to do?
And along the river right here, and that's pretty much the call. Actually, we're not dressed properly because everybody, as far as the eye can see, with few exceptions, sporting all their championship T-shirts. Everybody in Spurs regalia, and of course the little ones. And I look around seeing some of these little kids around here. They have never known the Spurs not being champions.
That's true. That is true. A couple of the coolest T-shirts I saw in the last week or so, Mike. One said, "Go for Quattro," and "Good guys wear black." I like that one too.
Black and silver, of course, which everybody is wearing around here. And I think I mentioned about this being the oldest team in the NBA. They have something like 8 players that are over the age of 30. Doesn't seem that old, but that is definitely old. And I think
Say hi, everybody. You're on KSAT 12, and we're celebrating our 4th title, right? Fantastic. Come here real quick. Come up here real quick. You got to see this guy. The haircut. Turn around for us. Show us the good stuff.
Got to show it.
See the spur? I'm going to have that by tomorrow morning. So, boss, if you're watching, it's going to be a shorter summer cut, okay?
And I have to tattle on you because this gentleman earlier today he's a brand new papa, so he was sporting not only the haircut but also a Thomas the Train backpack. With
there you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What do you think, folks? Can we go for a repeat next?
Should we go for 5? Why not? Right? So it doesn't matter what the sports writers or the critics have to say. I mean, with our team more or less intact next year, why not strive for 5?
Indeed, if they could just stay injury-free. Coming up around the bend, well, maybe he's a little bit delayed. Probably taking it nice and slow so people get a good look at him. But the last barge is going to be Tim Duncan as well as Bruce Bowen. And Bruce, of course, you know, you could argue, yes, Tony got the MVP, but he had probably one of the toughest jobs all season long because he was guarding the LeBron James and all of the best players on the other teams. He had to guard them, and he did it. Was doing yeoman's duty.
One of the things I liked about before the last game in Cleveland, Mike, is that right before the game started, Amy Duncan and their baby daughter Sydney came over, wished him luck, and you see Amy say, "I love you." And little do we know that would be the night we actually swept it. And I believe Amy and Sydney are on this last barge. All right.
We're going to take a little bit of a break here while we wait on Tim Duncan and Bruce Bowen to come around in their barge. You're watching live coverage of the championship number 4, the River Parade.